So it was another day and I'm fresh, so I'll give you a quick little room tour before we go. It's the bathroom, just had a shower. And then my room is on the ground floor today. You've got these big windows. Looking out onto the street. So I stayed in the same hotel. I think I said that before I finished the last video. And anyway, let's head on out. We got like 7 hours to burn before we leave. Let's go. Rained overnight. Hence my jeans. My jeans are finally emerged. Anyway, let's find a coffee and come up with something to do for the day. The walking tours are out. So just down here to the left is a church I missed out the other day, so I'm going to go and check it out. Very grand building, and this building by here is called St. Bavos Cathedral. Bavos, I think, where Charles V of Belgium or Holland was baptized. Thanks Wikipedia. Anyway, if it's free to go in, we're gonna go in, but there's a few places here which we can get some coffee at. And there's coverage as well, which is great. So yeah, we've been down there, all behind there. There is another canal system down this way as well behind this church, which is somewhere we need to go through later on anyway to get the bus to Bruges. Oh wow. So I still haven't shown my face yet, which is something I need to start getting used to doing. Yeah, this church is grand.
That's okay.
Not sure what they're waiting for. Maybe the elevator. So apparently the altar in here is like one of the best altars I've created, which is down the far end. So I'm assuming it's ticketed to go down there, which I'm fine not doing. It's cool. Anyway, let's go and get some coffees. feels way more laid back today. It's Tuesday. Yesterday it being Monday, it was crazy even at this time. Look at that. So I've had a change of mind. That place didn't look like the staff wanted to come out and talk to me. God, that's old. So we're gonna head down to the canal down here now. My weather app on my phone says it's not meant to rain anymore, but it still continues to rain. So we're gonna head down to the canal basin down here. Should be a large section. Some other options for a coffee. It's Adam and Eve on top of there. So around the back of the cathedral now, and there's another canal section just by here, and hopefully a nice warm place for a coffee. There's another church there just poking out. I think I walked down here last night when I was looking for a shop, and I ended up coming all the way down here. I went into a restaurant up there called Gigi's, and they sat me down on a really shit table and didn't come over and serve me. This looks like quite a affluent area. Can you hear bands practicing up here? Yeah. So there's a canal basin down here which I'm going to check out, and there's some coffee shops on there, which Google Maps says. So, but Google Maps is telling me there's places that are open when there's not as well. Anyway, let's go and look at this canal. It's right by here. Where's all the fish? Electronic lock. That's wicked. The locks in the UK are still like the original sort of ones where you need the lock key and you can manually open the locks to let the water through, but this one's electronic. So here we are, we're on the intersection here. And Google says there's a coffee shop just around the corner. There's a boat just setting sail now. I wonder how far it will get. Can it get out to the mainland sea from here? That's probably something worth looking at. I'll check now. So I found a coffee shop right by here called Touchy, which I shall be going in quite soon. Just checking out the street here. I've noticed like some places like coffee shops, they don't open till like 2 o'clock and then they shut at like 7, or some other coffee shops they'll open at like 6 and then close at like 10 o'clock. So there's not like massive competitiveness going on because of the opening time staggering. So that was really good. That's probably my best latte since being here, like latte and croissant. What I usually have most mornings in European cities. Anyway, to the next right, there's a big mural called Lost at Sea, which I've been recommended to go and see by the guy working in the coffee shop right here. Might get in trouble for jaywalking here, because I just read an article about people getting loads of fines walking around city, so I don't know. I don't know. Feeling fresh. I had a shower this morning, but I still feel fresh again because it's quite wet out. Anyway, see the mural down here. So here we are. Must be a brewery by here. Lost at Sea, with a men's toilet right underneath it. Sometimes you've got to cross, you change a corner and you always find something new down there. Unexpectedly, there's a church right here under restoration, with another one at the far end, with some more murals. Well, another mural. Private parking underground for the flats. It's going to be a long day for me. My bus is not for like another 6 hours. That's cool, mural. Let's keep going. It should be quite easy getting home though, because I've got a 45-minute bus to Bruges, and then I got 2 hours in Bruges then, and then it's plain sailing all the way. Church. It's another square. So yeah, another square here, and this is a statue of Saint Jacob, I think. I don't know much about history of these parts. Jacob San, and I can't say the last word. It's looking very grand and podgy. So this is the cannon gear used in the 14th, in the 15th century again in a battle. The Battle of Oudenherde or something like that. Like I said, I'm not quite sure about the history around here, but anyway, I think we should jump on a boat because this is going to be our last opportunity to do so. Doing some more restoration work up there. So this restaurant here is one of the go-to places if you really want to get bougie while you're here. Found that out doing some research last night. So where we're going now is probably quite a medieval place, which is another thing I picked up from researching last night. So the buildings here are really old and pretty. Check these out. So we're going to go down here and get a bus boat. No drinking water. So this is where I was yesterday, the beer house. Feels like a different town now that the weather's gone quite bad today. It's bearable, it's not like pissing it down, but you will get damp if you stay out for too long. But it's still warm in here, you know. So I'll be grabbing a boat from here soon. I'm assuming the next boat's due now, since people are walking down. But like I said, we've got like 6 hours to burn, so I don't even mind missing this one and getting the next one. So the boat on the far end, which I was talking about, so €10 for 45 to 50 minutes, which is a really good deal. I got a massive bag on me though, so hopefully I can put my bag safe on here. Let's go wet bum. So we'll be going soon. 5 minutes.
We need a little bit of counterweight. I will dry this place so that somebody could do me the favor to go and sit over yonder. Van deze kant. Er is hier nog bij. Tuurlijk.
So going soon. I thought we would get a boat like this one here, but I prefer one just with a cover on the top.
Ja, mijn
If the
excuses
glass
hoor, maar
gets
om onder de
dirty,
brugjes door
you
te
can't
passen
see
is
out
dat
the
zeer
window.
belangrijk om een beetje gebalanceerd te zijn. If something is malfunctioning, if you see that the roof is coming down in parts but not everywhere, please tell me, because otherwise no more roof for us. Let's give it a test. The roof is not on fire because it's raining. So welcome to Ghent. Beautiful, right? Oh, the view. Don't worry, the view will be back in a moment. You know what? I'm going to fool you all and start the trip in French. Je vais commencer en français. Bonjour tout le monde, bienvenue à Londres. La ville de... Oh, ah oui, pas la pluie, je parle pas la pluie. Je parle maintenant de la rivière, la Lys, qu'on traverse maintenant. La Lys vient de la France. Elle prend sa source à la France. Il fait 186 km de la France jusqu'à Ghent. Pour les Gantois de Moyen-Âge, à le boire. Ah oui, c'était l'autre table aux Gantois de Moyen-Âge. Did not feel like drinking this water neither, so they didn't. They drank beer, baby. 400 liters of beer per person per year, a tradition kept by most of my colleagues. This made the beer brewers so rich.
I keep that tradition
They
too.
tried and utterly failed to build the biggest tower in Flanders. Look at your front, ladies and gentlemen, and find the tower with the flat roof. Utterly missing its spire, its tip. The beer brewers had aspired. Die uitleg, weet je wat, ik kan gewoon van eerst keer doen, maar ik heb er niet veel van kunnen zien met de tak naar beneden. Maar cerveceros. Aquí en Ghent bebemos mucha cerveza. Antiguamente en Cuba también. ¿Por qué? Antiguamente habemos una razón. no mucho. La agua que nos atravesamos ahora, la ville des deux rivières et trois tours. La plus proche, c'est l'église de Saint-Nicolas. Au milieu, avec les dragons dorés, au-dessus le beffre, et au fond la cathédrale de Saint-Bavon. To make up for the stump on the right that we couldn't get up, we erected 3 of those bad boys on the left-hand side, and this time finished all 3. Closest one, St. Nicholas Church, birthplace of Santa Claus. Then in the middle with the golden room, because of a slightly distasteful story, a 12th century myth. According to this myth, St. Nicholas passed the butcher and realized that the minced meat, the carne picada, that he was selling was actually his 3 sons, where his cows had all died from a disease. St. Nicholas brought these 3 sons back to life. That's why he was forevermore known as the patron saint of little children. He started out as the patron saint of the ladies of the night, so quite an upgrade there. His patron saint of the ladies of the night and children at the same time lead that to the Catholic Church as such a combination. He became famous under his new alias, Sinterklaas. He would travel our rooftops, give children presents through their chimneys on the 7th of December until he got abducted by the Yankees. Is there any Americans aboard by chance today? Because of their first names being almost exclusively Young and Kees, in America the Dutch were known as the Yankees. Yankees, that's where it comes from. And when the Dutch go to America, whom do they take with them? Sinterklaas. Sinterklaas. Santa Claus. He really was born in the St. Nicholas Church, at least the way I... Directly into our drinking water. Holy you know what I'm gonna say. Holy excrement. With all those sacred poo-poos floating freely in water, drinking it would more often than not kill you. That's why we didn't. That's why we fermented the heck out of it. Ondertussen hebben we weer te veel gewicht aan de linkerkant. Dus moest je dat willen, dan mag je dat, maar het is niet per se nodig. Ik ga jullie niet blijven verhuizen, hè. Dan gaan jullie slechte dingen van me beginnen denken. Sad. Look at those boatsmen tugging at their anchors. Christopher Columbus' ship above the wooden door. Those engravings are 60, oh, we're perfectly straight, whoever did that, thank you. Those engravings are 16th century originals. Flabbergastingly beautiful. Ici à droite la maison des bateliers libres avec la batelier sur la façade à tirer les ancres, la caravelle de Columbe au-dessus de la porte tombe, tous original du 16e siècle. Aan de rechterkant dat lichtjes vergeelde huis, met die schippers die daar aan de ankers aan het trekken zijn en het karaveel van Christopher Columbus boven de houten deur. Dat is het gildehuis van de... tal vez cuando voltamos. Dos signas doradas en el Marriott Hotel. Van over. This waterway used to connect Ghent to Bruges, 45 kilometers of waterway. They dug this by hand in the 12th century. There's little of it left today. Maintenant, nous traversons sur la Liège, un canal creusé à main au 11e siècle à faire relier entre Gand et Denne. C'était 45 kilomètres dans l'époque, mais aujourd'hui ça va nulle part. C'était souterrain. À gauche, vous allez voir une maison jaunâtre, construite avec des petits escaliers dessus d'eau. On devait payer les impôts pour een deelhuis met stapjes boven het water.
That's where I had my breakfast yesterday morning, right there.
Alle vierkante meters die je boven het water uitbouwen, die raken er ook niet. Here on the left hand side, ladies and gentlemen, that yellow house was built with little steps sticking out over the water. We paid taxes for our houses per square meter touching the floor, implying that all the square meters sticking out over the water do not touch the floor. Those square meters were quite literally on the house. Todas las casas aquí a izquierda que fueron construidas con algunas pesas encima del agua era para no pagar los impuestos. Pagamos antiguamente impuesto para las casas de metro cuadrado que toca la tierra. Cada metro cuadrado encima del agua no toca la tierra, no tienes que no pagar una casa más grande sin pagar más dinero. Inteligente, ¿no? Des comptes, mesdames, messieurs. I asked the trumpeter friend to do that for me inside of the castle, but the city doesn't allow it. My voice will have to suffice. Let's get rid of the white lies and misconceptions. The castle was built in 1180. The moat around the castle was only dug in 1910. Don't be fooled, there was no moat there. Het 1180 werd opgebouwd, dat is een oud kasteel. Ce château, mesdames, messieurs, c'est vieux. C'est vieux. C'est, comment dire, du château qui fusait en 1912 dans le château qui est région 1180. L'eau était pas là, on n'avait pas l'eau autour du château. Le château fut érigé ici au bord du canal. Comme to see if they were lucky. because their death would be swift. Every now and again, somebody would be turned into an everlasting example. Their death, horrible and slow. Here in Ghent's smallest prison, here on the right. You see the rebel plus en plus petit de Ghent, daar Gent's kleinste gevangenisje. Those pigeons probably didn't pay their taxes. Down 14th century Portuguese boats. You want to know how it looks? You sadly enough have to look for pictures. It's closed until the renovation works are done. They are renovating it to turn it into a bicycle park. Après le parasol noir, vous allez voir une maison blanche. Sur la façade, vous allez voir trois statues minuscules with their wiener's eyes. Well, you may have noticed aboard my ship, it's the Belgian sense of humor. It's quite atrocious. In the Middle Ages, the tanners, the old tanners, los cortadores para ejemplificar español, they needed ammonia to make the leather soft. The only place where they could encounter ammonia in the Middle Ages, the urine. So they bought urine to make shoes, but they had a big problem. Everybody in Ghent was a raging alcoholic, and alcohol renders your leather useless. It makes it very dry, very difficult to work. So only people that didn't drink alcohol were allowed to sell their urine. Everybody was a drinker, except for, drumroll, the little children. They sold their urine to the tanners in pots. That's why in England, if you're very poor, you're so poor you don't have a pot to piss in. They sold their pee by the liter, often adding water to the piss. More liters, more money. This way bamboozling the tanners yet again. So the tanners, they set out to find the quality of the pee. The only way to find out the quality of the pee in the Middle Ages. Welcome the pea tasters of Flanders, men who grew stinking rich, mostly from their mouths off of tasting urine for a living. This one goes out to the Dutch people aboard. When they lost their jobs, they all moved to the Netherlands. With their massive wealth, they started brewing Heineken beer instead. They were already used to the taste. Manneke Pie, c'était la mascotte des tanneurs. Les tanneurs de Flandre avaient besoin du ammoniac. Normalement, de trouver ammoniacol. Así los niños a vender orina a los cortadores son devenidos las mascotas de los cortadores. Cada casa de gremio de los cortadores había un maniquipis en la Edad Media. Además, 4 maniquipis. Subterranean passageway. Because once upon a time, the whole of the monks, the neighborhood of the monks, was cut off completely almost by land. It was almost an island, like city center Ghent is today, actually. You can go all around the city on a boat, if you wanted to. When the monks finished their stone neighborhood, almost completely cut off by land, by water from the land, they let nobody else go into the neighborhoods, which was quite inconvenient, because at the other side of the neighborhood on the right, a lot of agricultural fields, and on the left, just across the bridge, the Friday market, the main place of commerce of the Middle Ages. There is a Friday, every Friday there is a market there. We have, since the 13th century, had a Friday there, a Friday market there, every single Friday except for COVID. Literally, those were the only 2 years since the 13th century that we didn't host the Friday markets. We missed, let's say, half a year of Friday markets since the 13th century. So those farmers wanting to go from their fields to the Friday market, well, they couldn't anymore. They were cut off by this neighborhood and they were not allowed to go into it. So they started going underneath it through a tunnel dark and damp that we nicknamed that dark hole of the monks, lending its name to the rest of the neighborhood for all of posterity. The tunnel is still there. It took me 3 seasons to figure this last thing out. The tunnel is still there. I sailed past it so often without even thinking twice. Just here behind the bridge you will find the remnants of that tunnel closed with a wall. Ici, juste après le pont à droite, vous allez voir ce ancien trou des moines. Hier meteen achter de brug aan de rechterkant vinden jullie dat oude patershol. You can even still see the staircase leading into it. Velocidad. Y voy también rápidamente a explicar en español porque no se vais a encontrar en el libro. Este cuartel era reservado para los padres de antes. La gente normal no podría lo entrar y debemos que lo pasara el tiempo todo o no pasas una cuartera que no puedes entrar con este túnel que that's the best thing you can do for me, costs you no money and almost no time. The thing that I love the most, the only thing that I occasionally beg for. If you enjoyed the trip, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Applauses make me feel validated. Thank you. Shukran, obrigado, gracias. Good group. And if you didn't enjoy the trip, you can always leave a bad review, but in that case my name was Jean-Luc. Not Cody. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you see each other again. If not, take care, God bless, enjoy the rest of your life. I'm sure you deserved it. Ciao, ciao. Gracias, Joe.
Thank you very much. Brilliant.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that.
It was great, man. That was wicked. That's €10 so far. Learned some really cool stuff about Brussels. Really cool stuff on there. Maybe I'll talk about it later. So I thought I'd come back to this bridge and finish this segment right by here. The boat tour I just got off then came up here and back down. So I'm looking for a place to talk to you lot without tourists in my face. It looks like a good place by here. So I'm going to finish this segment up right by here. This is where the boat tour just brought me. So this bridge right by here is the actual border into the city. The castle right by here, and the boat used to have guardsmen over it, and they used to charge people who used to bring goods into the city to sell. Tax rates. They didn't like the British coming in though at all. A lot of the British ships that used to come in used to hide their cargo underneath the boat. You can get access to the city then if you didn't have any cargo available to be sold. But a lot of people used to get caught trying to smuggle goods in. And what they used to do, if you evaded tax here, there was no penalty apart from death, and they would literally kill you on this bridge and throw your corpse, or at least your head, into the canal. Sometimes they would actually put you up on a spit as well. Put your bodies up on a spit as a warning for any ships that were coming in to Gent city. A warning that you might get murdered on the spot if you did try and smuggle goods in. Which is awesome. There's another tall boat coming. I wonder if it's the same fella I saw earlier. It's fun crossing this. Anyway, I'm going to finish this part by here, guys. The next part of this video is probably going to be Bruges, or at least me leaving Gent towards Bruges. Then we'll do an hour's video there. I still got 6 hours to my bus, I think. What's the time now? 3, 4, 5 hours until my bus still, so I'm going to use the rest of the time here to enjoy myself, walk around, maybe get some souvenirs. I am looking for an Italian restaurant like I did last night, which was a fail. But yeah, if you enjoyed this segment of the video, you know what to do. Hit like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Thanks for watching. Peace and love.